Hi Facebook, Thomas here. I'm from a relationship food camp. I do a weekend seminar helping men and women, couples or singles, to empower themselves and their relationships. And so today I want to share with you a concept that I'll be covering in the class called feeling and formula. And I want to talk about how both of these ideas are important and necessary in a relationship, especially when you're finding it challenging in relationship at the start, or you're finding any kind of challenge coming up at any time throughout the history of your relationship. And I'm talking about like whether it's with yourself or with your partner. And for me, where it stems from is I have struggled in relationships. I've got to say I've struggled for a long, long time. I would say since I was 4 years old. And to be honest with you, I felt abandoned very easily when I was younger. I always thought that other people had more attention than I did, and I found it quite difficult, and I ended up isolating and becoming retracted. And so over the years, I've realized how important it is to, if you struggle with something, which in relationship I've struggled a lot, to research and educate yourself. And that is what I would call formula, to find out ways that where people who are doing well what you want to do, follow them and follow their advice and get their support and read their books, and find out as much as you can about what's going on with you. And so that would be like a great place to start with relating to yourself. The second place would be when you're relating to your partner. Find out ways where you're struggling, and then do research or educate yourself around those places. So I would say, for example, not for example. Let me take it back a step. When we're growing up, I've got to say that I would imagine most families are dysfunctional. There would be some sort of dysfunction that overrides the way that we relate growing up throughout our generations. And unconsciously we take this on. And then when we meet a partner, then they, no doubt, the reason why you meet them is because they're there to teach you a lesson, right? And so you meet a partner who's going to like bring all those things up in you and trigger you in those ways. And it's when you're in it, you don't understand what's going on. It's very painful, very emotional. Men do a very good job of bearing it. But yeah, so what I'm saying is that we have to unlock these. You got to work really hard to unlock these patterns and behaviors. It's all going on a very unconscious level. And so when we get into relationship, they play out. If you haven't done research and if you haven't educated yourself and you haven't learned from somebody or from somewhere, they're going to continue to play out. And the cycle, the multi-generational cycle, is just going to continue and continue with you and your kids. And so what I'm learning and what I suggest is, beyond the education, is see the places where. Hang on, let me take a step back. Oh yeah. So in our schooling system, right, we're not taught about relationships. We're not taught about connection. In my generation, I mean, I've read on that it's slowly happening, but like so slowly, and I doubt many schools will have any kind of program where they would prioritize teaching about connection and relationships. And so even the younger generations are going through life having no idea how to relate properly to each other. And so there's, we go by our gut in relationship, but how do we know if we're wrong, right? How do we know if your partner's wrong? Like, no one knows. We're just like playing out these patterns on an unconscious level. And so the way you break it and the way you find peace and the way you find harmony in relationships is educate yourself. Go and learn. Read books, like go and see a therapist. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, go and work out models, relationship models. Go and find them that help you to like grasp the concepts that and the ideas and the things that you should have learned. Like we all learn how to speak English and arithmetic and basic science, but we don't learn how to connect with one another with love and approval unless our parents taught us, right? So we have to learn how to do that. And how do you do that if there's no models out there, like obvious, clear models that are in your face? Like you have to dig deep and find out. There's not much out there. It's really hard. So that's when I say it starts with you. What I mean is it's your responsibility to do the work in a relationship. It's your responsibility to take care of the things that trigger you about your partner or the way you see the world. It's all completely your responsibility. And then when you do find yourself in a loving relationship, or if you're in your loving relationship at the moment, or you want to be in a loving relationship, like slow down, take time out when you're triggered, like do courses together. Like there's nothing better than learning about each other in a relationship. God, like it's the most amazing, phenomenal experience and feeling you've ever had. So there's like the formula side of it. That would say like that would be like the masculine version of how to approach relationships. And only then when you have an understanding and it's entered your unconscious and you change some behaviors, are you able to then enter the feeling place and connect on a deeper level when the crucial ways that we judge each other have disappeared, and the ways that we blame each other for our problems. Well, once they start disappearing, then you start to use the power of your feeling to, actually you can use it at the same time, but rely on it when you have experience to back it up. And then lead with that. Once you're good enough, is you lead with it. You know, you can lead with your gut feeling when you know what the fuck you're talking about. When you know that your partner's doing something that's pissing you off, you actually know they're pissing you off because you're right with yourself and they're actually just being fucking annoying, or they're just being idiots. And you can just be like, listen, lovingly, blah, 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 blah. I feel X when you do Y. I love you so much. I'd love to find a way that I can help you and support you when you're in that place or when this is happening. You know, and then, yeah, that's my rant. I hope it's been helpful. Feeling and formula. Lead with formula. When you know what you're doing, follow with leading. Follow with feeling. But trust your gut nonetheless, because your gut is your guide, always. It's your guide, but it's not the answer. It's the thing that shows you the direction you need to go. And in relationships, I would say most of us are all just slightly a little bit fucked up and don't know what we're doing. Hence why 50% of people get divorced. So what I'm saying is, like, use your gut, follow where your gut tells you to go, and then just dig a little bit deeper and do a little bit of research and educate yourself a little bit. And that's how you'll have harmony. And that's how you'll have a harmonious relationship. And that's where approval and love and all that stuff can just flow easily. And it doesn't have to be like a regimented process that you go in. So thanks for watching. All the best in all your relationship relating. Look out for details on my course, Relationship Bootcamp in Sydney in February. Haven't exactly set a date yet, but it's coming up. We'll be ready with some marketing and content, so you guys can find out more about that soon. All right, thank you.